So the first thing you're going to want to do is plug the USB memory stick into your computer, your laptop, your desktop, whatever it is you're going to be using. Then after that, I would suggest using your mobile phone or another computer. Just find a way to Google the boot menu key. So just Google boot, B-O-O-T, menu, M-E-N-U-K-E-Y, boot menu key for your computer. So for example, I have a Dell XPS 15. So I would Google boot menu key Dell XPS 15 and Google will just give you whatever the answer is. For most people, it's going to be F2, F10, F12 or delete on your keyboard. So what that means is that your computer won't boot from the SSD or the hard drive inside the computer anymore. It will boot from the memory stick. When it boots from the memory stick, then you'll be able to actually select operating systems that we transferred in a previous video. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I've already done that for mine. So I'm going to go to save changes and exit. Click yes. Mine is going to reboot and it jumps straight to Ventoy. So on this Ventoy screen now, as you can see, I've got, I think it should be 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 operating systems here. And these are the operating systems I copied over previously. So the one that I'm going to do first is VMware ESXi. I'm going to show how to install the operating system. So simply use up and down on your keyboard. And then once you've selected the one that you want, as you can see, the blue boxes around VMware ESXi, I'm going to press enter. I'm going to choose boot in normal mode. I'm not going to test or check anything. There's nothing on the system anyway. But for you, before you do this, you should definitely 100% back up whatever you have on a computer before you do any of this. So if you have not backed up anything yet, stop the process, restart the computer, unplug the memory stick, copy over what you want to either Google Drive, OneDrive, memory stick, or hard drive, back everything up, then come back to this again. So I'm going to press enter to boot in normal mode. So the option from the list that I'm going to choose first is going to be Proxmox. I tried VMware earlier and the mini PC I have, for some reason, it wouldn't detect the network device. So what I'm going to do is go with Proxmox first to see if that works. I'm going to boot in normal mode and I'm just using my keyboard again with the arrow keys and the enter key to make my selection. Okay, I'm going to go with the graphical interface. So the GUI, the very first option there. Press enter. All right, here we are. I'm not going to read the EULA. Definitely not going to read that, but you should. I'm going to click on accept. The first thing I'll need to do is to tell Proxmox where it should be installed. I have two options here for me. I have the SSD inside the computer and I also have the memory stick I just plugged in. Do not choose the memory stick you plugged in. You should always choose the internal drive, whether it be a hard drive or an SSD of the computer you're using. For me, that's going to be SSD. I'm going to click on SSD, then click on next. Then here it's going to ask about country, region and all of that stuff. So I'm going to say United Kingdom for me. Choose your country, of course. Then I'm going to go next. Password, I'm going to keep mine very simple. So I've added my email address here as well because it says it will send me notifications if anything does happen to the server and I need to action something straight away. That might be quite useful. If you're in a production environment, as in a real company, this is something you definitely 100% must do. And if it had an option for phone number as well, you add that as well so it can possibly send you text messages. So this is the network configuration. So because I already have my Ethernet cable plugged in, it's already detected everything. So for some reason, VMware just doesn't get to this section. It doesn't think I have a network adapter plugged in. Anything, nothing works. But Proxmox straight away out the box just starts working. I'm going to change host name to PVE, which is Proxmox Virtual Environment .proxmox.local. I'm going to leave it as that. I'm going to leave everything else exactly how it is, but please make note of this. I'm going to click next. From here, it's just confirming all the details I entered before. I'm just going to click install, then wait for it to finish. Installation finished, everything rebooted. In most instances, even in a production environment, people are going to access this from either the web UI for the very first time and then set it up that way. So that IP address there on screen, I simply need to type that into my web browser and I should be good to go. IP address typed in. So all I need to do now is to press enter on here. It's going to tell me that this is not secure, but that's fine. I'm going to press advanced, then go down to proceed. Now from here, it's going to ask me for my username and password. I'm going to put that in, then click on login. I think the default username is either root or admin. I tried admin, that didn't work, so I'm going to try root as well. Yep, that took me straight in. You do not have any valid subscriptions, blah blah blah. That's okay, perfect. So this is what it actually looks like to be inside Proxmox VM, the web interface. Now I'm going to go through all of this at some point. At the moment, I'm using one SSD, an M.2 internal SSD. What I am going to do is plug in two external USB SSDs. So I've got 4 SSDs. I'm going to use a USB adapter to plug them into the mini PC directly, so to then use that as storage for starting my other virtual machines. So stay tuned for the next one.